Liam Neeson, the grizzled Irish actor renowned for his brooding intensity in action thrillers like the Taken franchise, has found himself thrust into an unwelcome spotlight, compelled to publicly disavow any affiliation with anti-vaccination sentiments following his narration of the incendiary documentary Plague of Corruption. This film, which has ignited fierce debates across social media and news cycles, peddles long-debunked conspiracy theories surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, positioning Neeson as an unwitting figurehead in a narrative that clashes violently with his established persona of straightforward, no-nonsense heroism. Representatives for the 73-year-old star have been unequivocal in their rebuttal, asserting that his involvement was purely professional and in no way reflective of personal beliefs, a clarification that underscores the perils of lending one's voice to polarizing projects in an era of heightened scrutiny. The documentary in question, Plague of Corruption, draws its controversial core from the 2014 book of the same name by Judy Mikovits, a former scientist whose credentials have been thoroughly discredited by the scientific community. Mikovits, once a researcher at the National Cancer Institute, rose to infamy during the pandemic for baseless assertions that COVID-19 originated from a flu vaccine and that vaccinations should be eschewed entirely. Her claims, amplified in viral videos that garnered millions of views, have been repeatedly refuted by fact-checkers and health organizations worldwide, yet they persist in fringe circles. The film, executive produced by Mikovits' co-author Kent Heckenlively, a writer with ties to conspiracy maven Alex Jones, expands on these ideas, weaving in critiques of government lockdowns, vaccine development timelines and regulatory oversight. Director Michael Mazzola, whose prior work includes UFO-themed documentaries that toe the line between speculation and pseudoscience, helms the project with a sensationalist flair, ensuring it resonates with audiences skeptical of mainstream narratives. Neeson's voiceover, delivered in his signature gravelly timbre that has chilled audiences from Schindler's List to The Grey, serves as the film's emotional anchor, narrating passages that question the rushed testing of vaccines and decry the politicization of public health measures. It also revives the discredited linkage between vaccines and autism, a myth originating from a fraudulent 1998 study that has been retracted and condemned by every major medical body. Prominently featured is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the environmental lawyer turned vaccine skeptic who, in a twist of political irony, was recently appointed as Donald Trump's Secretary of Health and Human Services. Kennedy's appearances in the film are fiery, lambasting vaccine safety protocols and figures like Dr. Anthony Fauci, whom he accuses of corruption and overreach. For many viewers, Neeson's narration lends an air of gravitas to these assertions, transforming what might otherwise be dismissed as fringe rhetoric into something deceptively authoritative. In response to the backlash, which erupted almost immediately upon the trailer's release, Neeson's representatives issued a firm statement distancing the actor from the content. Liam never has been and is not anti-vaccination, they declared, emphasizing his decades-long ambassadorship with UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, where he has championed child health initiatives, including vaccination drives in developing nations. This history paints a stark contrast to the film's messaging. Neeson has traveled to conflict zones like Sudan and Haiti, witnessing firsthand the devastation of preventable diseases and advocating for immunization as a cornerstone of global equity. The rep further clarified that Neeson had no role in shaping the documentary's content, portraying his participation as a standard voiceover gig, likely secured through his agent for its dramatic potential rather than ideological alignment. In Hollywood, where actors often narrate projects outside their wheelhouse to stay versatile, such assignments are commonplace, but this one has exposed the risks when the subject matter veers into ideological minefields. Neeson's career, built on a foundation of versatility, from Shakespearean stages in London to Oscar-nominated intensity in Steven Spielberg's Holocaust drama, has always thrived on moral complexity. In Taken, he plays a father reclaiming agency through vengeance. In Kinsey, he humanizes a pioneering sex researcher amid controversy. Yet, Plague of Corruption marks a rare misfire, one that threatens to tarnish his reputation among progressive fans who associate him with humanitarian causes. The actor himself, known for his reticence in interviews, has remained silent, allowing his team to navigate the storm. This approach aligns with his philosophy of letting work speak for itself, a lesson learned from early roles in Excalibur and The Mission, where he honed a craft rooted in authenticity over publicity. Delving deeper into the documentary's ecosystem reveals a network of influencers who have long profited from pandemic skepticism. Heckenlively's collaboration with Alex Jones, the InfoWars founder infamous for Sandy Hook denialism, underscores the film's ties to a broader conspiracy apparatus. Jones, banned from major platforms for misinformation, has repurposed his empire into a haven for anti-vax content, raking in millions through supplements and survival gear peddled to fearful audiences. Mikovits, meanwhile, has parlayed her notoriety into speaking tours and book deals, her narrative of silenced whistleblower resonating with those distrustful of Big Pharma. Kennedy's involvement adds a layer of establishment critique, his nepotistic lineage, son of the assassinated Senator Robert F. Kennedy, lending ironic credibility to attacks on institutional power. Mazzola's UFO background further blurs lines between science fiction and pseudoscience, a directorial choice that prioritizes intrigue over evidence. For Neeson, the fallout is a reminder of voiceover work's double-edged sword. His narration has elevated lesser projects like nature specials and historical reenactments, but here it amplifies harm, potentially eroding trust in public health at a time when measles outbreaks are resurging due to hesitancy. UNICEF, where Neeson has raised awareness for over a decade, issued a subtle nod of support via social media, reposting vaccination success stories without direct reference. Fans, divided online, range from defenders citing artistic freedom to critics demanding boycotts of his upcoming The Naked Gun reboot. Neeson's silence, while strategic, fuels speculation. Did he review the script? Was payment a factor in a post-strike industry? Or is it simply a case of compartmentalization, where the job ends when the mic clicks off?